There has been a lot of confusion about astral projection, so I figured I'd explain what it is and how to do it. Dreaming is an unconscious astral projection. When you sleep, your soul leaves your body. It literally leaves our 3D physical reality. This is caused by your pineal gland, the most important part of your brain, releasing dimethyltryptamine, also known as DMT. DMT is what propels your soul out of body when you sleep, and when you're about to die or have a near-death experience. The thing is, you do not have control over what your soul does when it leaves your body while you sleep. Your subconscious controls it. The difference between normal sleep and astral projection is when you astral project, you are able to consciously control your soul, and where it goes. Astral projection is basically just conscious sleep. When you start to fall asleep, but wake up right before it happens, you can literally feel your soul coming back into body. That is why you sometimes feel like you're falling. The head exploding sensation, as some people describe it, is the first step to starting an astral projection. That is one of the signs you know that you are doing it right. You feel pressure in your brain, and your body starts to tingle. Then, your whole body goes limp, and if you can control it, your soul will leave your body shortly after. Let me put it this way, so it's easier to understand. If I were to astral project, and I wanted to communicate with someone that is sleeping, it would be difficult for me to do so. I could easily find that person in the spirit realm, aka fourth dimension, but I wouldn't really be able to have a deep conversation with that person because they would appear drunk to me. That's because they're not really conscious. If I spoke to them, they may remember me being in their dream a little bit, but they wouldn't remember most of it. However, if two people are astral projecting at the same time, they can indeed meet up in 4D, have a conversation together, they can even have sex. Yes, astral sex is a real thing. Google it. And both people will remember everything that happened. Through astral projection you can do many things. You can speak with friends and family that are living, friends and family that are long dead, your spirit or animal guides, beings from other dimensions, extraterrestrials that tend to reside in other dimensions such as the Pleiadians and Andromedans, or you can just fly around and see the world like Superman. I realize this probably sounds crazy to people who are new to this concept, but I have done it myself, so I know you can do it too. Nothing has expanded my awareness and my consciousness like astral projection has. I hope you give it a try. Before we get into techniques, you should know that there are hundreds if not thousands of different techniques to get your soul out of body. We are all unique. One technique that works for some people may not work for others. I recommend you try one for a little while, and move on to a different one if you don't succeed. 1. The rope technique. This technique has been formulated by Robert Bruce and is one of the most effective techniques around. A key ingredient to this projection technique is an invisible, imaginary rope hanging from your ceiling. This rope will be used to exert dynamic pressure at a single point on your astral body to force its separation from the physical. Reach out with your imaginary hands and pull yourself, hand over hand, up the strong, invisible, imaginary rope hanging above you. You will feel a slight dizzy sensation inside you as you do this. This feeling of vertigo will intensify the more you pull on the rope. Keep climbing, hand over hand, ever upwards, and you will feel the vibrations start. Your whole body will seem to be vibrating and you will feel paralyzed. Concentrate single-minded on climbing your rope. Don't stop. Next you will feel yourself coming free of your body. You will exit your body in the direction of your imaginary rope and will be hovering above your body. You're free at last. 2. Watch yourself going to sleep. Lie down comfortably on your back, facing the ceiling. Relax your body and clear your mind of unwanted thoughts. Relax even more. Tell yourself that you are going to watch yourself in the act of going to sleep. You must be very clear about your intent. You're going to let your body sleep while your mind will remain alert throughout the entire process. Tell yourself you will retain consciousness even while your body is going to be in complete trance. As you relax completely, you must learn to recognize the rather strange, distinctive sensations you feel as your body moves into the sleep state. You must stay aware as this unfolds. At a certain point, you will feel that your body is feeling heavy and numb. You are on the right track. Pay close attention to all your bodily sensations. You may feel yourself swaying or floating. You might even find certain parts of your body tingling. There might be vibrations running from your head to toe. You might even hear a strong buzzing sensation in your ears. Whatever the sensations, do not panic, as these are very good signals that you are on the verge of experiencing an OBE. You have to then visualize that you are rising up from your bed and floating towards the ceiling. How would it feel if you could actually float? Try to make the experience as real as possible. Hold this image for as long as you can. If everything goes well, you might suddenly find yourself outside the body, floating near the ceiling. 3. The Monroe Technique. Dr. Robert Monroe, one of the foremost authorities on astral projection, devised this method. You have to first relax your body. This is a very important step. Then try to go to sleep, but don't fall asleep. Maintain your awareness between sleep and wakefulness. This is known as the hypnagogic state. Then deepen this hypnagogic state and start to clear your mind of unwanted thoughts. Simply look through your closed eyelids at the blackness in front of you. Then you must enter an even deeper state of relaxation. The next step is to induce vibrations throughout your body and intensify them. These vibrations have to be controlled and intensified further. This is the moment when the astral body will separate from the physical body. You then simply have to roll over and you will find yourself out of your body. 4. OBE from lucid dreams. Lucid dreams are dreams in which the dreamer is aware that he is dreaming. In a lucid dream, a person is already out of his body. In order to achieve astral projection from lucid dreams, you have to first become obsessed with OBEs, and you must really desire it. You must read everything you can about it. You must think about it every free moment that you have. Once your mind is saturated with the thought of OBEs, we will need triggers and affirmations so that you have a lucid dream. During the day, keep thinking, "Tonight I'm going to have a lucid dream." Remind yourself of this all day long. And this is the important part, keep asking yourself during the day, "Am I dreaming now?" With a few days of practice, you will have programmed your subconscious to induce a lucid dream. Once you are in a lucid dream, and know that you are dreaming, you would also know that you are not in your body. You can then will yourself to see your bedroom. In most cases, when you do this, your dreamland will suddenly disappear and you will find yourself in your bedroom, floating above your body. 5. Displaced awareness technique. Close your eyes and get into your usual trance state. Try to sense the entire room at once. Feel yourself just above your shoulders and seeing all around. Be very passive about what is going on. Then imagine that your astral body is slowly rotating by 180 degrees. Once you finish your mental rotation, your astral head should be where your physical feet are, and your astral feet would be where your physical head is. With this firmly in your mind, try visualizing the room from this new direction. The idea is to forget about where you really are, and displace your sense of direction. When you do this correctly, you will find yourself getting dizzy. This is normal. When you are comfortable with this, the next step is to imagine floating towards the roof. Try to make it as real as possible. you may suddenly find yourself popped out of your physical body. 6. The jump technique. The jump technique, when done well, can wake up anyone in their dreams and make them lucid. However, it does need to be done well. This is how the technique works. We repeatedly need to ask ourselves during the day whether we are in a dream or not. It is important that we do this not just for the sake of asking ourselves the question, but because we really want to know where we are. We should really doubt that we are in the physical. So in order to prove where we are, we jump as if we were going to fly. If we are in the physical, we will land back on the ground. But during a dream, when we jump, we will defy gravity and float. When this is done for a few days, you will soon find yourself in a dream in which you are jumping to check whether you are in a dream or not. As soon as you jump, you will find yourself floating, thus triggering a lucid dream and an OOBE. 7. The hammock technique. Visualize yourself flying in a bright white hammock, stationed between two palm trees on a secluded beach. Imagine the feeling of swaying in the wind, and recreate that feeling now as you visualize yourself swaying from side to side in the hammock. Repeat this visualization for as long as it takes to bring forth the vibrations, and when you feel the vibrations, just roll out of your body. Whichever technique you choose, you are unlikely to get a result on the very first night, or even on the first few nights, so take your time with them and try not to get frustrated when nothing happens at first. I lay there in a completely peaceful and content state of mind. At no point did I fall asleep. My eyes were closed and I had barely gotten comfortable, when I heard a voice coming from one of the guys on duty, standing about 3 feet from my head and to my right, say, "Get up." I instantaneously considered how. But without wasting a heartbeat or single thought or movement of my body, I raised straight up and above the bed by about 1.5 feet. At the moment I reached this point, the voice said, "Go through the wall." So I did. Still in a horizontal position, I floated straight through the wall, head first. As I passed through the wall, all I can say is it was kind of like watching the Starship Enterprise travel through some sort of warp field or plasma distortion. All in muddy browns and earth-tone hues. Once through, I popped out and was flying above grass-covered slopes. This was completely awesome. I had flown in dreams and had out-of-body experiences in the past and knew that I could control my speed and elevation just by thinking about it. But I had never been told to do so. I was flying several yards above the ground, or should I say well-manicured grass of rolling hills and slopes. Off to my left at the tops of one of the rises, I saw what could have been a very large building, dwelling, or even a city. Its size and proportions were not exactly of my concern. But I do remember what it looked like and could draw its design, even today, some 20 years later. Now completely aware of the circumstances I found myself in, I decided to see just what my capabilities were. I flew at varying speeds and heights, higher and faster than I had ever gone before, and with such control, never possible by me before. I decided to accelerate upward and see how high I could fly. At the peak of my flight, I saw what appeared to be crystal, silver or shiny orbs. About 3 of them spread just above and ahead of me, to my right. Then it happened. Well, it is kind of anticlimactic. Music lyrics of an earthly nature popped into my head. Something about crystal ships and starship troopers. And wham, I was back in my body. It was around midday as I was laying on my back and glad to finally be stretching out. Fully awake and aware of where I was, all of a sudden I was being dragged over a counter by these, what I can only call little demons. Short little creatures which took many of them to drag me over the countertop. Okay, now, I've had out-of-body experiences, dreams and even some nightmares, but nothing like this. I was feeling actual intense pain as they scratched and clawed and even bit at my hands and arms. The pain is what was so real. I had never felt pain such as this in my astral or spirit body. After shaking myself back to my physical body, I inspected my hands and arms and was just so glad they didn't leave any marks. Little did I know back then that this was just a warning.